Are you a real estate investor with interest in Yaba, Ketu, Maryland, Esolo, Ojodu Berger, Otoido, Ijesha? Then this information is for you. What if I told you that property you want to invest in is in dispute? Good day, and welcome to Encumbered Properties Red Alert. I am Rex Chinedu, your host. A long-standing dispute in Lagos has reached a boiling point over a prized property. The Tinubu's family and the Ojumo Chieftaincy family clash in Lagos over $1 billion land dispute. The case currently before the courts involves the trustees of late Madam Iyalode Tinubu, led by Chief Oladele Tinubu, and the OJUMO'S chieftaincy family, led by Prince Tajudeen Ojumo. At the heart of the dispute is a vast expanse of land, measuring approximately 4.5 miles in radius. The property in question is a mixed-use development land with a total size of approximately 7,500 hectares. The land is situated in the heart of Lagos State. To avoid falling victim to scammers or dubious characters, you are advised to visit www.encumberedproperties.com, where the survey plan and the coordinates of the disputed property are uploaded. However, Tinubu's family claims ownership of the property, citing a purchase by late Madam Tinubu in 1834 from the Olodo family. On the other hand, the Ojumo Chieftaincy family counters the claim by Tinubu's family, saying they received a grant from the governor of Lagos State, which were gazetted and recognized by the Lagos State government. This claim has sparked mixed reactions about the legitimacy of their ownership. Meanwhile, the Lagos State government has been accused of complicity in the dispute, with allegations that it has disregarded court orders and engaged in illegal land grabbing. The government's actions have been described by many as a blatant disregard of property rights and the rule of law. As a real estate investor, you are advised to stay away from such disputed properties to avoid losing your money. We have a property lawyer in the building. Let's hear his expert opinion on this. Come with me. Tinubu's family, claims ownership of a property, citing a purchase by late Madam Iyalode Tinubu in 1834, and also presented a document, from a court judgment in 1912 to validate the ownership of the property. On the other hand, the Ojumo Chieftaincy family counters the claim, saying the Lagos State government gave them grants, gazetted it, and of course approved it. Looking at the grants and the court orders, there is conflict of interest. I would want to know which overrides which.
Well, this is actually the reason why I think they are in court. And they've done the right thing by approaching the court. One, there is a conflict of interest that has to do with title to land. It is the High Court that will decide. I must note, however, that now that this matter is said to be sub judice, in other words, it has been submitted to court jurisdiction to determine one way or the other. The safer thing for us to do is not to comment or begin to predict what will be the outcome of the court proceedings. I think the essence of encumberedproperties.com is to warn the members of the public that the subject matter of the dispute, the land in question as you have explained, is in court, to enable them keep away from it, because some unscrupulous members of either party could want to do a quick one, collecting money from unsuspecting members of the public and quickly sell off before the court could give judgment. So we will await for what the court would rule. But speaking as a lawyer, if, for instance, government gives a grant or allocates land to an individual, the question is, does the government have right over the land in the first place? Because it's a common principle of law that you can't give what you don't have or what you don't own. But under the Land Use Act, every land in the state resides in the governor.
And belongs to the state. I was going to ask that because
yes, it belongs to the governor. But if a land is under the possession of a private individual, or it has been granted to a private individual, the only reason why it will be taken from that person is if it is being taken away for overriding public interests. You are not allowed as government to take land from a private person for another private use into another private person. It must be for overriding public interests.
Okay.
And for that to happen, you are expected to revoke the previous allocation to that private individual and follow it up with compensation, adequate compensation, before you can validly allocate or grant to some other person.
Okay.
But
which means you need the consent of the original owner of the property.
And not really, you don't need the consent of the original owner of the property. Once you meet the conditions, are you revoking for overriding public interest?
Okay.
Are you also paying the requisite compensation? Once these two conditions are met, you are free to do what you want to do. So I believe these are some of the things the government will be, the courts will be dissecting, be looking at before it will arrive at this considered judgment. But as I earlier said, our interest at encumberedproperties.com, which I know is your motive too, is to alert the members of the public that this land, as you've said and listed on the platform of encumberedproperties.com, is in dispute. They should avoid buying any part of it so that they don't lose their money by the end of the day, if that is correct.
Thank you so much for the clarification, Mr. MADUEKE ENWERE. I appreciate your time.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
In case you're joining us, you're watching Encumbered Properties Red Alert, and today we talked about a property in dispute sitting at the heart of Lagos State. This property in dispute is between two families, the Tinubu's family and the Ojumo Chieftaincy family. The Tinubu's family claims ownership of the property, citing a purchase by Madam Iyalode Tinubu in 1834, and of course a subsequent court judgment in 1912. On the other hand, the Ojumo Chieftaincy family is claiming ownership, citing grants by the state government. I had the pleasure to bring on board a property lawyer, Mr. MADUEKE ENWERE, who doubles as the founder of Encumberedproperties.com, to come share his expert opinion with us. And I'm glad he did justice to this. Would you want to get similar updates about disputed properties or properties that are unencumbered but not for sale? Then subscribe to this channel, Encumbered Properties, to get notifications about disputed properties. Till I come your way again, stay safe and stay out of troubled properties. I am Rex Chinedu Agorike, thanking you for watching.